Hello guys, it's Susanna here. I'm back with this project that I showed you before Christmas last year of some of the stuff I was doing this year. I'm just here to let you know I actually thought of this project before the Journal of Stitchery started. So, and I think I explained that in the video then as well. I'd been thinking about doing something like this for quite some time. So it's SUSANNA'S sampler, and these are my favourite stitches, made with beautiful Kath Kidston vintage fabric, gorgeous. If you notice my sample, I actually did it on this pink gingham, so that's where I had the idea to do it. There's all, I'll show you this is there is 7 of these left. I've already, like one of the ladies pre-orders everything, and so there's 7 of the pink left. I've got one in the blues, but this was a vintage apron, and I'm going to be sewing one up today, and I am going to be using bits that have been sewn together, but you don't get the red. That was the apron handle, you get it in the blue. So I'm just going to be showing you it comes like that, still with the little girl on the mushroom, but this is the colour, that's the colourway that it comes in, so the pink and the blue. This is Bell & Boo fabrics, and that's why I've got a really limited amount. This come from England, and I cut them up, and I've got the backing on them and everything, and I once again used bits that I've had to cut. I used the dreg bits so that everyone else can have a good bit. This piece, they're both on a sort of like a vintage a gingham piece. So this piece is it's going to be a little bit smaller, so like on my other one, so sorry about the red. You get 4 hearts, and it's a little bit longer, and she's actually a sewing motif. Still the same bunny, still Bell & Boo. This is from I think it's the tea one, where she's having tea. And also I've got it in this as well. So I've got 3 of the ones available in that. I've got 2 of the blue and 7 of these. So it's very, very, very limited. So I just thought I'd share those with you. Oh, I'll grab that. And on the other side, like, it includes those bits, it includes buttons, it includes patchwork that I'm going to be putting on there and everything. So all these bits and pieces, and here is the pattern as well. So I've just put showing image on there because this is Bell & Boo. I can sell it to you, but I can't say that it was my own, but everything else is designed with my own. I mean, if I didn't have these, I've got quite a bit of the pink left. Like, I can make up more pink ones if I need to, if they just won't have this after the 7 is gone. So I thought I'll get started on making these. Now, what you need to do, where is my, there it is. You get yourself, those pink ink pens, these ones. Nope, not that one. 5. Okay, I do stitch them in, so you've actually got the pattern for that on here. So what you do is you either put it on a window, get this, and put it on a window, and you trace. You don't need to trace these bits. This is just an example to show you what you need to do. The only bits that you need to trace probably is the hearts. There goes mine. So and you put it on. I've got a light box which makes it easier, but if you haven't, so that's the first thing that you need to do before you stitch it all together, because it's a lot easier to use your middle part. So then got my sewing machine set up behind me, so you just do that with first with the pencil, and then you go over it with one of these pigment ink liners which you get from your Office Works. It's a permanent. Once you iron it in, it's permanent, so you might want to do it with pencil first, or what else have you got? I've got these little you know, whatever you want to transfer your markers over. So I'll put this here. I'll measure. It is 12 inches across when it's finished, and about 15 inches long, so that in centimetres. On the other side is approximately 31 inches centimetres wide by 38 long, so it's not huge. I just thought this was a nice pattern to put. I'm going to hang it up on the wall in here because the sampler, as a sampler, so that I can have a look at it, and these are my favourite stitches. So yeah, so I thought I won't make too many kits because everyone's making them for the journal, which will end up being in a book, whereas something like this can hang on your wall. So okay, so I will proceed to what you need to do. Move this over is you grab your piece here, and I really like, I think most of the pieces that are in the kits, I think are pre-cut to the right size, or it might just come in one long piece. So what you need to do, I've already got that one's pre-cut. Okay. So you get that. Now I'm putting it this way because I like going that way. If you want to, if you're left-handed, you can do it that way, it's up to you. So just doing the blue, that happens to be the right size, using the remnants. So this is, it's newer, but it's not newer. It's probably, it might be about maybe 20 years old, whereas this that it's in the kits is definitely vintage. It's a 1950s apron that I used. So okay, so then you do the same with that. Just gonna pin it. And it's probably better to cut first. I mean sew first, but I'll just cut it. I'll just cut it a little bit extra. So we sew those down, then you always iron, when you iron it, iron towards the dark piece. So you'll sew those pieces down and then you iron towards the dark piece. So I'll proceed to sew this, and then once that's sewn, we come back, like once that's open like that, we come back and we sew that way using this long piece. So I'll pause and iron and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back again. So I've just sewn them down, and this is what I mean by iron towards the dark. Put it on the iron and I've done it that way. So now we go along with this piece and we pin that down. But I'm just going to show step by step, that way you feel you can be a bit more confident in creating this piece. And then I'll just show you this one lot. Okay, so turn that over and just cut it just a tiny bit longer, just in case. Then we do the same on that side. Now you generally sew 1/4 of an inch. You don't have to have a 1/4 of an inch foot. As long as you sew the same width, it can be bigger than 1/4 of an inch, as long as everything is the same width. Like as in you sew every part using the same width. So, that part. You probably will have a little bit left over. So that, I'm going to be sewing that and then once again ironing to the outside, and then I'll come back when it's ironed, and then you repeat that process with these ones. I'll be back. Okay, back again. So this is what it should look here. Now this is the actual right size. These are the little bit extras. So try and trim it up a little bit to suit the size that is there. And then another thing too, because we're going to be sewing over the top of each other, you really don't need to. I didn't go back and forward. That looks pretty good. This one's probably needs to be trimmed a tad. So what we do now is we get these bits, oh, not quite long enough, okay. See, these are my leftover bits. That's plenty that way, but it's probably not enough that way, so I may have to sew. Oh, here we go. So using that one, and then same with the other side, and then I'll just sew more bits together. So same process, sew, then go over to that side. These are, there was, you know, you can tell it's really vintage. I just put iron-on violin because it had holes and stuff in there, so I'm used to using the bad bits. So I'll just do this process and then again, and then I'll be back. So for this one and this one, you don't need to go back and forward, but the last two ones, it might pay, you know how you do back and forward on your sewing machine to secure it. Okay, well I'll pause and I'll be back when they're all sewn on. Okay, back again. So I'm just straightening it up. Now remember the bits that you get in your pack, if you've got the this one, oh, better iron that down again, haven't got the joins, you'll have one long bit. I'm just using the leftover pieces. I'm just going to iron that down again. There we go. So that's what you will end up with, and the colour that you'll get in the blue. So you won't have these join bits. But saying that, in the pattern, you've got little bits and pieces like that, which we're going to put here. I'm going to have buttons along here, and then we're going to have bits of fabric, which I'm going to cut out. You know, they've been pre-cut out actually in the kit. Yep, see, I've done, here's my little bits and pieces. So the blue packs, they come with sort of little quilt pieces that I've got in there, and they've all got little quilt pieces, which you just use this as a guide. And then the pink pieces, I think they're a little bit different, but I mean I'll show you once I've put them onto this piece. So that's just showing you how to put the outside border on. At this stage you would have already done this, so remember to do the writing part first. You've got to do stitch re-stampler after, because obviously that, but this part you can do that first. And remember, you've got to, when you are sewing it, you don't do the first lot, you leave a 1/4 of an inch so that you don't sew the running part, if you know what I mean. That's why I've just left it. It's exactly perfect on the bottom, but I've just left it, and that gives you a little bit of bit to do the stitching sampler as well. So have a look, I'll zoom it in, get a good look at what I mean with that. Okay, so now so that's what this piece will be like that with the blue rather than the red, because this was all folded up into 3 pieces. This was the actual the apron strings. Okay, so I could probably leave it in like that and have that in the middle. There we go. So turn around and put my chair up. Now I've gotten out my piece that I've got in the journal, and using these, there's 20 stitches there, but I have just gotten 10 of my favourite stitches, which are the ones I tend to use the most. So okay, what we're going to do is chopping and changing all the time. I'm probably going to be having this one for myself. Now where's my little pack? We got little packs of all the bits that you get have been ironed on with iron-on. It's light heat and bond, so that you can stitch through them, but then sometimes they don't always stick. You have to really hold it down. You don't have a really hot iron, sort of have a warm to hot iron, and then you hold it on there for a little while. See, like it's starting to peel off a little bit, but you want to be able to stitch through it. If you've got a thick one, it's a lot harder to stitch through. So you get all the buttons and everything like that, and bits and pieces. I think that one is for this kit, yeah. So these are all the buttons and everything for the pink. So use this as a bit of a guide. And I think I've put, see, the pink's got a little bit of that in there. I really like that one. And so they are going to be along the side here. That. So some that way. Well, actually, I think did that one have? I might just. It's got the edging, you don't really need it, so, and then do, if you've got yourself one of these, there we go. So so I might do that there. I think I was going to do, I think I will do that there. It has got an edge, but I like the edge. So we're going to do it so we can stick it on there, and then we're going to have one piece going like that. So I might have that underneath and that going like that. And then this piece here, which I think is probably a tad big, so we're going to cut that off. And then that's going to go on the bottom. So we use that as a bit of a guide. Actually, have that there, there, and then this pink here, because it is just, you don't have to go exactly how it's got it on there, you just play with it and do what you want to do with it. Now these, hopefully you are in camera, I might zoom it out. No, there we go. Just playing with it a little bit. these buttons. I do have, I've got it on my phone of how I've got them. Maybe on the next video I'll show you how I had them. I know I had one button in here, and I can't remember whether it was a big button. Actually, I think it might have been red and that, and then these were pink, like went from big to small, and then this was green, went from big to small in the green. So the pinks, because it's mainly pink and green, and maybe that was there. There we go, something like that. So that's how the display is. So once you're happy with how it's working, I'll just put these buttons off to the side. There and there. I might just do that. And I'm going to get a pin as well. And this is just okay. There we go. That works. That's what I want it. A little bit. Really do like this seersucker fabric. Actually, it's rather pretty. Okay, where did we have that? I like that layout a bit better than this one. I want that to go a little bit over there, and then get this. I think that's probably going to be straight, and then that was going to be a little bit more crooked, and then that little button will go there, I think. Actually, no, maybe that goes a little bit more like that. There we go. And then the button will go there. That's it. I think it's got to go in a little more. How fussy I am, but you've got to be happy. That's it. So I might get some pins. And pin those down. Such a cute little piece. I sort of wanted to have that 50s bit of retro vibe, and I just happened to get in the blue one that's actually 50s fabric. So now in your kit you also get these little bits and pieces, and some of them are, so what you do with this is you cut out where is it? If you've gotten this one, that little bunny, you just cut it out because it's got the backing area on there, and cut it out, and then peel off the backing and then iron that down. And the same with these. That one goes here. Let's put this. Got this little guy goes here. So yeah, this is the bits that I had left over. This I had to put, sort of do Frankenstein my bit together. Here. Some of them are hexagon shapes, some of them are circles. Just utilise what you've got, and you know, like, because I had to have what I have. See here, what I might do, that's got that, but I like this, so I'm going to cut that out. I do like this one. Peel that off, and I'll iron that down here. So it doesn't have to be all hexagons, and this one's got a, you know, cute little teddy in there, so they are a little bit different. And for this one, we've got different colours, like quilt blocks. I'll probably show you that in the next video, and then everyone gets some invent, you know. They're all a little bit different vintage quilt pieces. So yeah, but I'll show you this here. So what we do with these, we've gotten up to this point, is you pick some fabrics and stuff that you like. I actually really like this. This is the wool, and I reckon the wool would probably go really well. I'd like to do, this is a leftover piece, but the pinks I'm going to use is probably that one. Wow, this is bright in it, look at that. Wow. And then the green. No, I don't know whether I'm going to go the darker, which is a little bit more contrasting, or the lighter. Now I quite like these two. I think that works really well. And with the writing, I don't know whether I'm going to do a brown. Oh, that's nice. It's sort of like a black, but it's a, you know, I want a darker colour. So I might go that, because it's sort of a black, but it's got a bit of a tinge of brown or whatever behind it. Even something like this might be really nice. I think that's just a little bit thick, that's why I'm not going with that one. I think that might be a pearl, even though that colour would be really good. With this one, quite a bit of this. I think I'm going to stick with that. So, yeah, pick out the greens that you would like. See, this is a nice green too, but it's probably a bit too, I think I'm going to stick with that one. And then I've got a blue, sort of a bluey green. I might use that for those. Yeah, that one will work for those. Okay, so what you do, where are we? We're on 29 minutes, so I'll proceed to start. Now with these, all it is, I'm going to do that in a darker colour, is I'm just going to do a running stitch, which, as you know, is just this little stitch here. No, not a running stitch, a backing stitch. Okay. I mean, if you really want to, you don't have to do it, but if it's because it's a stitching sampler, you probably would be good to do it. So the backing stitch for all the words, and that will get done in that colour. So, and then I'll proceed to stitch this down, and I'll just do a running stitch on those. So I think I might use this pink. This pink here. Where are we? Oh, some of my stuff is falling down. Okay, so I'll use this, and I'm just going to do a running stitch. But if actually, I don't know, we'll just see. Yep. Okay. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing for this one. Just starting to put the actual piece together, and then might start there. There's a reason for me starting there, because when you do, I'm just going to do a quick running stitch, and make sure that you grab all the, you know, that it goes all the way through. I may not do running stitch on all of them, and I just thought you're going to want to, you know, make it look a little bit different. Okay. Actually, put it back there. Okay, doesn't have to be perfect as long as it's holding it down. Okay. Now most of these are going to be held down with the running stitches, and this has actually got some lines going across there, so I may even work in with that, but this is basically holding it down. So what I might do here is just do a couple of running stitches, and then we can do some of these stitches, and you can also do cross stitches as well, but I just think these would be quite nice, and because it's not a massive piece, it's a little bit easier to stitch. These are just random little stitches, so I might go back there. Now we're going to put this together when we do it. I probably will put wadding and everything on the back of it, and this will be a quilted piece. Down, and then while we've got the thread in there, just go back a little bit, down, and then we're up here again. do the bunny stitch. Pardon me. Boop, boop. Okay. What I would like to do here, come up, do a couple. Actually, I don't want to cover that little rose. So what I will do, I'm going to do some crosses. You either do two, I don't really want to cover that rose too much. Probably take that out now. Yep. I'm probably going to do the opposite because this is sort of like the green side and that's the pink side. So I'm using the pink thread for on this side and then that greeny, I'll probably use this greeny thread for on the other side. So that's just what you do. Okay, after I've finished here, I'm going to finish up and then I'll do another part. So I'll finish up here. Off. And then I'll start back here and go around, and that should be enough to do a running stitch around that. And because it's green on green, I like the idea that it's got the pink to contrast with it. Okay. Like these colours, so you get all the bits and pieces in here. The only thing you don't get is your thread, but most of you got. Basically for this one you would just get a really good pink and a really good green because it's mainly pink and green. I may go back over this and then do a small little running stitch going through there. I think that would look cute. Oh, it keeps coming out all the time. Okay. So I do hope that you enjoy this. It's something that I've been wanting to do for quite some time, and I'm like, oh no, left my run a little bit late, but this is different. You can hang this on your wall. So nothing is new under the sun, as they say. We've all got our own channels and our own ideas of how we want to do stuff. Okay. Do it quick. And then go back down, and we could probably do, I may need to get more of red, but I'll just give you a bit of an idea of what you can do to embellish things. Work with what you've got. I might even be able to make this. Okay. See if you get a nice big piece. Yep. Few layers. Down, up, and we go down. And then I'll finish that off. Cute. So, which button did that have? I think it might have had the little red one, which is probably going to go there. So you do the same sort of thing on that side, using either this green or this green. I'll see how I go. I think that one probably may stand out because there's sort of a little bit of a green in there. And then when you come back, when I come back next, I'll have this stitched down. Yeah, it's sort of got almost a little bit of a just the words in back stitch. So that can be your homework, including that part. And so in the next one we'll proceed to do all the different stitches. These I'm going to probably do a running stitch to stitch them down, and then these here I might even come back and show you. Use a really fine thread in similar matching colours and just do like with, you know, like a small, what would you call it, just a little slip stitch just to hold them. And then I'm gonna, you know, she's holding a needle here and a bit of thread, so I'll do a stitch there, and then I will highlight bits. So it just needs to be held down at this point, and then we're going to go over it and highlight bits with actual embroidery. Okay guys, well, I hope you like this so far. I think it's really cute, and I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.